welcome to the weekly update. I am CDOWG13. Now folks, if you haven't heard, Rick Perry has announced his official presidential run after it leaked out. He announced it officially Saturday. Now his campaign motto, I am the one to agree with it. Much like Teddy Roosevelt, with it tweaked a little, he says, speak loudly and carry a big gun. And now I know he's got an itchy trigger finger. Seen earlier in the news for these past weeks, he said that he killed a coyote that was trying to attack his dog. So, we know he can protect us with his big gun. Also making headlines is, surprisingly enough, Michelle Bachmann. She rocked the Republican Party field by winning the straw poll. But as you know, she probably doesn't stand a chance since the two big men on campuses wasn't there, Mitt Romney and Rick Perry. Although they had very important things going on for them. Mitt Romney took his wives to go shopping, and Rick Perry went off to go shooting with Sarah Palin in her helicopter. Now, nation, we move on to the next of the world's hot topic. If you are a fan of video games, much like myself, you were dying to go to E3, but if you're also like me, you're poor, and you can't afford to go to expensive things like E3 and Comic-Con. And also, you know they announced Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Also, and I've never played Modern Warfare, but what I've got the gist of from around the news is that Modern Warfare 3 will be bigger than its two predecessors. I am told that there will be a lot of shooting of other nations that are trying to invade this country. Oh no! I just spoiled it all for you, and yet you're going to pay the $60 to get it. Darn it, Connor, you can't keep doing this to yourself and to me. Also making bashing headlines at E3 is the testament of Sherlock Holmes. Now, you've seen the trailers, you've seen the photos. Limited they may be, but it looks like an epic game from Sherlock Holmes on the run from Scotland Yard. I guess he made them look like idiots one too many times. Nintendo made some big news at E3 as well, announcing their new gaming system for the Wii U. And now, from the looks of it, it looks alright. New station, new format, and if you also watched the Zelda preview, the graphics look high-tech like the PS3 and the Xbox 360. If you are like me, I'm a serious Captain America fan, folks. I love him, his mighty shield, and his steroid-up body. And if you're also like me, you were at the premiere to go see it on July 22nd. I was in the middle row of the movie theater to see the first Avenger. And I have to admit, it gave me the chills. There was action, steroid usage, and plenty of other stuff. It was a very good movie. It also had a lot more comedy than the usual Marvel movies, but I think that's what we all need. You gotta be funny. You can't just punch people in the face and make mean comments like Batman. You have to be funny, or it just makes your fans die inside. Also, just a few days ago, the most anticipated movie, also by me, Cowboys and Aliens, with Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford. You can't get any better than that. You've seen the trailers, the previews, and all sorts of other things. And here to talk about it, Daniel Craig, through Skype. Daniel, before we start, I gotta ask you one question. What drew you into the project, and what made you want to play the guy?
I was lucky enough to get sent the script and sort of read the title and thought, well, this is obviously going to be a very funny movie, and actually when I read it was sort of incredibly pleasantly surprised to find out that it was sort of a movie that was funny, but also was sort of going to was out to make us most authentic Western that it could, and I just you know, I've always harbored the secret desire to play a cowboy, so it kind of fitted nicely.
I gotta ask you another question. Is your character as epic as James Bond?
Well, he wakes up in the middle of the desert with no shoes on and sort of bashed and bruised and with a strange sort of bracelet on his wrist, and he's lost his memory, so it's sort of the first sort of 20 minutes of the movie, apart from lots of other things, he's trying to figure out where he's from and, you know, what he's done in his life.
Now you have to tell me one big thing. What was it like working with Han Solo and Indiana Jones and the director John guy?
Harrison is an incredibly generous and funny man who is also an incredibly generous and funny actor who I've been a fan of for a long time, and just getting the chance to work with him has been a joy, and getting to know him has been a joy as well. And Jon Favreau, you know, has done a lot of comedies, has made a lot of funny films. He's been in a lot of very funny films, but he always kind of comes from the point of view that that comedy comes from reality.
Oh, I have to cut you off. You're rambling on and it's just making me mad. All right, join us back next week, same time, same YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the like button. Good night.